Hey everyone, welcome. If you're new here, I'm Kimon, and this is where I share my journey, raw, unfiltered, real, right? It's none of the studio lights, no fancy camera effects, just me sharing what's on my mind and in my heart. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Now, I'm not here to show you some polished image of success. I'm sitting in my car right now because this is real. This is where I come, I think, I reflect, really try to figure out how I can change my life. So, if you're tired of that fake curated version of success that you see everywhere, you're in the right place. Now, this being my first video, I really wanted to talk about how I walked away from my $200,000 plus a year career in the middle of a recession with a child on the way, in the midst of layoffs, and during these economic uncertain times. Now, I did this not because I had to, right, but because I wanted, I really wanted something more. And this is my reality, it's my journey, and I was hoping to share what led me here in case someone else is kind of experiencing what I'm going through. Now, just to point out, let me start off by saying this. I didn't get any handouts. Nothing about my journey has been easier given to me. My mom had me at 16 years old in East Atlanta, right? I got more than my share of legal trouble growing up. I got tattoos everywhere, my hands, my face, everywhere. So for me, I worked hard from the absolute bottom in an almost impossible situation to get to where I am today. And while I may have made some mistakes here or there, I've taken risks, and every step has been earned. Yeah, sorry, I had to take a real quick bathroom break. And while I'm walking out here, your boy got that shit on. I put it on. Now, I got this lunch coming up with my cousin pretty soon, so, put on a little something slight. But, yeah, getting back in the car. All right, back in the car. Like they say, I'm in it to win it. No, but seriously, back to the story. 2024, I was living the life, I thought I wanted. Working from home, making really good money every year, selling software as a service. I didn't have to deal with the commutes, the office politics, a lot of the corporate events and gatherings. I made sure to avoid that, for sure. But early in the year, I set a very clear goal, right? I'm like, hey, by the end of the year, come on, let's finally hit and over accomplish 300K for the first time. My wife and I, we're growing our family, so we're going to rent a really nice house in the area that I live in. We set the goal to buy our dream cars for Christmas. It was a McLaren for me and BMW X7 M60i for her. But in reality, although we were making money, I was really kind of stuck, in all honesty. I wasn't building anything meaningful. The job, as great as it was on paper, a lot of people would love to have that job, especially at my age. I'm only 27. But for me, it was a lot of moments that really kind of made me question everything, right? Was it fulfilling? Was it not fulfilling? So yeah, that was where I was at. Now, one of the toughest parts about my job was helping companies prepare for layoffs. And I always give, get repositioned a little bit. I always give this one story, right? I was working with a Fortune 500 company. If I was to say the name, we all know the company. And largest contract at that time I had ever done. It was my first real big contract. Multi-million-dollar annual recurring revenue deal. 3-year deal, big deal. Enterprise deal. And, it sounded great. To all my buddies, my coworkers, saving the money, helping them prepare for financial growth, helping them, develop some new projects. But it came at the expense of their people, right? So the crazy thing is, about 2 weeks after we finalized the terms and everything like that of the deal, I hadn't heard back from my contact, who was a C-suite leader. Then, in the middle of nowhere, their CEO reached out to me to let me know that, this person had been laid off. Now, imagine that. The person who I was working to save money with by getting rid of people didn't even know that he was going to be part of the cuts. For me, that was kind of my welcome to the corporate world moment. And, I always try to be fair. And I'll be honest, parts of the job was fun. It really stroked my ego a lot. I really enjoyed helping clients scale their teams, implement new technical projects. And, when you see some of my work make headlines or show up on LinkedIn, it gave me a lot of pride. But even then, something was missing. It didn't really quite excite me. I wasn't really completely fulfilled with what I was doing, and often the bad outweighed the good. So, I'd see companies I worked with announce layoffs months later. And, I'd see employees crying or venting online, and it was tough, right? So I said, you know what, it's enough. Time for me to do something meaningful. It was at this point, I knew it was time for me to leave. I wanted to build something that actually helped people, not just companies. And what makes this revelation a little bit harder to admit, in all honesty, is that I was already building something meaningful in my life. Prior to this, I had been working on 2 of my own businesses. But as my corporate career started to take off, I paused both of those ventures. I let go of my team, scaled down operations, and I put everything on hold. And really, I put it to the back of the shelf. I didn't expect to come back to it. It was definitely a tough decision, but at the time, I thought that was the right thing to do, focusing on my career. And, it definitely had its bonuses, right? It was literally and figuratively. But it was the right move in the short term, but eventually I realized that I couldn't continue to ignore my calling. So I decided to go back to Sealand.io and R&R Atlantic Investment Group. These businesses aren't just a way of making money, but it's a way of giving back to people like myself and investing in businesses like the ones, my family's run, like your friends run, right? Like your teachers run, right? The mom and pop places that need a little bit more assistance, need a little bit more resources. Sealand, just real quick, is a platform that helps empower small businesses to scale affordably. And R&R, it's my investment company. We provide resources, connections, and a lot of guidance that helps companies scale, grow, and make better, decisions for their business. Now, a lot of what I do is pro bono, right? But really, it's just because, for myself, it's not about the money all the time. It's more about the impact. Walking away from my corporate job definitely wasn't easy. I left behind a stable 6-figure salary, a fairly predictable future. But what I'm aiming to gain is so much more valuable, right? I'm investing so I can find my purpose, so I can be more fulfilled. And more importantly, so I can have the chance to leave a legacy that actually matters, right? So now I'm focused on building this empire, not the kind that's measured by cars or titles, but the one that's measured on impact. How much impact am I having on my people, right? People like me who are overlooked. How many tools am I providing, right? How many resources am I allocating to small business owners so that they can create their own businesses that, can last? And so far, the journey definitely hasn't been glamorous. It's a lot of punches and dark spots every day, but it's not polished. I'm still rolling with the punches. I'm still going, and more importantly, it's my journey, right? And it's something that's meaningful to me. So I wanted to create this channel to show people that, hey, if you're in a place where you feel stuck, just know this: you can make a change, right? It won't be easy, but it'll be worth it. And this isn't about where I started from, right? It's not about where I've been, but it's about where I'm going. And I hope it inspires you to think about where you're headed to. For the next week, I'll share more about, my journey, some of the risks that I took, some of the challenges I faced, the lessons I've learned. But for now, if this resonates with you, drop a comment, share your thoughts, tell me about your own journey. Thanks for being here. And this is just the beginning. Keep on out.